heed a certain call when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need.
Yes, my name is Russell Chalmers. I'm the president of Firefighters Without.
Just tell us the purpose of the exercise today.
Yeah, we're here this week to work with the fire service in St. Lucia to deliver a course in swiftwater rescue. Swiftwater rescue is the rescue of people that are entrapped by fast-moving waters, rivers, streams, particularly in times of heavy rain or floods. This program is unique. It's one of the many programs that we'll be delivering with the fire service in St. Lucia. This program will be taught in the train the trainer mode. What we'd like to do is, as much as possible, is to ensure sustainability. So rather than us just come and teach the course, we're doing a train the trainer course so that the training school here will be able to teach the course long after we leave. Some of the future courses we're working with the senior staff here to deliver is vehicle extrication. We hope to do that in 2018 as well. That would be in a train the trainer format. That would obviously be to help them rescue people that are trapped in vehicle accidents and machinery incidents as well. We've also just received notice that we'll have 2 fire vehicles donated to Firefighters Without Borders, and we're working with the senior staff here again in St. Lucia to deliver those trucks along with training to St. Lucia.
When was the company established?
Firefighters Without Borders was established in 2004. We're a registered charity in Canada, a not-for-profit organization, and our goal is to provide training and equipment to fire service agencies in need wherever they may be.
We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Well, send them your heart, so they know that someone cares and their lives.
Lieutenant Downs, Divisional Officer. Right. What you're witnessing there is the beginning of a swiftwater rescue training, a week-long swiftwater rescue training conducted by the Firefighters Without Borders from Canada. We in the department have been receiving a number of calls for distressed persons during heavy rains at sea, and these officers responding to the calls are not properly trained to effectively effect a rescue. So that training is very important. It's a very expensive training, and we had to secure funding from the Korean government through the past administration, and I'm very happy, very excited that today that we could commence that training. The training was supposed to be conducted in Dominica. The officers on that is presently participating in that training is very excited about the training, because most of them work at the operational section of the fire department, and they are the ones responding to these calls. And most times they get these calls, they feel uncomfortable in terms of their skills and their confidence level. So we are very happy that today we could commence that training, and hopefully they could extract as much information from the instructors who have a wealth of knowledge and are certified swiftwater rescue instructors in Canada. So we're very excited about that training, and hopefully it will benefit the department and by extension the whole country as a whole.
must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all.
But if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall.
Well, let's realize, oh, that a change can only come when we
Stand together as one. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Cheryl Francis, Consul General for St. Lucia in Toronto.
Just tell us what this exercise really means to the fire department with regards to the training.
Okay. So Firefighters Without Borders, they are a charity group out of Canada, and they work specifically for firefighters within Canada in regards to training, equipment, and they have taken time out to be here with us in St. Lucia to train our firefighters in St. Lucia. And we're very, very happy and grateful for this opportunity because they're giving of their time, and not only their time, but their skill, you know, for us here in St. Lucia, our firefighters. And you know how important that is to us in this region because we're constantly faced with hurricanes, flash flooding, severe flooding, and this water rescue training is absolutely necessary for our emergency responders in St. Lucia. Yeah, so this training happening here today is very valuable to us. And they're training trainers, and so they'll be training the other persons within the fire service as well. And what we have to recognize is that that training is going to go a long way in terms of saving lives in the future for our St. Lucians whenever we're faced with any emergencies. And we've started this collaboration with Emergency Solutions Inc. Out of Canada as well, and the Firefighters Without Borders. And this collaboration is ongoing. Several training sessions are being planned, and they have been collaborating with us on a number of issues. They're preparing an emergency solution plan for St. Lucia, and as well, they're looking to provide us with 2 fire trucks. I mean, we're working on it, but that is the sort of commitment that they have given to us. That is the sort of collaboration that they have started working with us on. So today we are really grateful to have them, and this training, you know, will certainly go a long way.
When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all.
But if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall.
Well, let's realize, oh, that a change can only come when we
Stand together as one. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. We'll make a better day, just you and me. We are the
My name is Daniel Boyer. I'm a fire captain with Mississauga Fire and Emergency Service. Well, today we're here to do a review, an instructor review of the skill sets that were passed on to the St. Lucia Fire Service guys and gals that we've been working with for the past week. Those skill sets will include breaking the group into smaller units of instructors, and what they will be doing is relaying that information back to the group. So we call it our Teach Back Day, which we do have those smaller instructor groups, teach back such things as shore-based rescues, as well as go rescues. Boat rescues are what we're going to be doing this afternoon in the beach here in the surf. So quite extensive day. The group has been fabulous to work with. They've been very receptive to the skill sets, the hints and tips, the water rescue hints and tips that we've passed on to them. They've been very receptive and taking the week extremely serious. So it's somewhat of a stressful day to them, because they do want to do well, and they want to ensure that the skills that we passed on are properly transferred to the guys and gals that work with them in the fire service.
There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own life. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. We are the world, we are the children, our children. We are the ones who make a better day, so let's rock it, so let's rock it. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. All right, let me hear you. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. Tell 'em we are the children. We are the ones who make a better day.
We are very proud this afternoon that our trainers here are doing very well in this program. This Swiftwater Rescue program has been in the planning for over a year now. We planned on having it in March of this year. Unfortunately, this did not happen, but we are quite happy that we are now pulling it through. This will create an opportunity for us to provide a much better service in terms of water rescue to the people of the country. As we are aware, the weather systems are projected to get worse at this point, and we've had a number of situations where we've had to effect rescues, in places that we don't normally see, swift water. So I think we are in a position now to provide that service in a much better manner, in a much more coordinated manner, and with, of course, the assistance of the police. We have 2 members represented on that group. I think it's an opportunity for us to work together to provide a much better service to the community.
It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. All right, let me hear you. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. Tell 'em we are the children. We are the ones who make a better day, so let's start giving. Let's start giving. There's a charge.
I'm very grateful of all of the assistance given. We also had some very good instructors, Mr. Dan, Greg, great instructors who helped us. They showed us so much in those 4 days. I really don't think it was enough time for all of the skills which we were required to learn, but it was a lot, and we're very grateful for it. So in all, we took a lot from the course, and we tried to as much as possible implement most of it, because it's a trainer program, so we have to try to pass it on so that we can make St. Lucia safer.
But I was just amazed that, the amount of equipment and everything that you have to learn and everything involved. But I know that with time we'll get it. So hats off to everybody. Thank you. And
I look forward to the other component of the training, which is the really swift water. Yes, I think that while, yes, we may have gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of techniques, but the most prerequisite thing that was needed was swift water, which we did not have. And I believe that with the next component, when we get the real Swiftwater, I think then we will see the really use and the techniques that we were taught. Because as you know, the sea is not the right place for what we learned, but I'm looking forward to the next component.
I told my colleagues that I'm looking forward to doing that in Swiftwater, in a real situation. And I was amazed at the wealth of knowledge they imparted to us. And I would like to thank the chief, the deputy, the instructors, and the commissioner, high commissioner, for making that possible.
It is something that we have said before, that we need to integrate the entities so that we could better perform our duties. I really appreciate that course. It was very good. The information was spot on. The instructors were on the spot.
Your wife, and put me in contact with Firefighters Without Borders and Emergency Solutions Inc. for us to start working on collaborating with the firemen and the police, because of course that is her passion. And so you missed that, but you know, she was way at the top, pushing this from day one, and so was I. Thank you.
Most valuable participant. So I said to Nick and Greg, we were getting our fancy shirts on, I said, well, who do you think it is? And absolutely the first response was you, because of the commitment to putting yourself in a situation you were extremely uncomfortable with, and to challenge yourself, and the outcome is what? Right? Look at that smile. Yeah.
And I can say that Cheryl hit the road running from the beginning and has developed a tremendous amount of relationships and has produced tangible results since she's been there. And I think that that's what we're all looking for. So Cheryl, on behalf of all of us, thank you. And the chief and the deputy were really talking about my commitment to you. And it's very genuine. And unfortunately, I wish that I could say to you there was this surplus of funds and I could just make all your problems go away overnight. And that's not going to happen. But I am committed to consistently looking to improve your own welfare, because in improving your welfare, then I improve the welfare of our country. And unfortunately, you were making a comment that there are going to be more disasters that are going to come fast and furious. We've seen just what happened this summer with the hurricane season. I just want to thank the Lord for sparing St. Lucia, because that's what it really was. And you know, I had the opportunity of going to Dominica, going to the BVI, been to Anguilla, I've been to Turks and Caicos. I've not been to Puerto Rico, but I have friends who've gone to Puerto Rico and St. Martin, and it's devastating. I mean, not only was it obviously very frightful during the event itself, but clearly the emergencies afterwards, and that many of those countries are still in dire straits. And so we know that the only way that we're going to succeed is by building resilience. And resilience is not just in the roads and the rivers and the concrete stuff, but the resilience is also in you, in building up the ability for you to be able to help the people of St. Lucia in a time of crisis. So that's why this training is so timely in terms of what we're confronting here, because flooding is becoming more and more of an issue. So I just want to say to you all that I'm very, very proud of you for participating in this program. I want to thank the Canadian group for coming down again, and we're looking to do more work with them in the future. There's a second company that Cheryl has put us in touch with, Emergency Solutions, basically to help us in reviewing our entire emergency crisis plan in St. Lucia, and identify where those weaknesses are, and help now to bring more courses like this as to where we see those gaps. The other one that I'm very excited about is that we have a proposal on the table to build a new police and emergency headquarters using the Golden Hope building. And the idea is also to move the Marine Police from where they are to the other side. So it means that literally everybody would be together. And part of that is a major crisis center, which would include the fire, naval, and the police, and SSU. So everybody would be collectively together. We're putting in, hopefully, a new set of CCT cameras. Just to give you an idea of money, the new CCT cameras by themselves is $24 million. Right? The police headquarters, to build it now to earthquake-proof, hurricane-proof, to put all the technology in, fully equipped, is $34 million US. So these are very challenging decisions. We've also in the process of building a new courthouse, which is 34 million EC dollars. And that's just the domestic court. I've also got to build a courthouse for the regional court. So I don't want you to believe for one moment that we're not trying. We're trying very, very, very hard. I also at this point want to say a special thanks to my wife. For the amazing work that she's been doing. Sorry. For the amazing work that she's been doing. Because I have not had the chance to go to all your facilities. She has. And the pictures that she showed me. As far as I'm concerned, all of you deserve our gratitude. Because I think that many people would have walked off the job with the conditions that I've seen people operating in. So I don't want you to believe for one moment that that sacrifice you're making is not going unnoticed. Okay? We notice it. Every day we have to make some very, very tough decisions about where resources are going. So I don't want you ever to believe that it's because that we're ignoring you. But the demands and the screens are everywhere. You've seen the state of the schools. You've seen the state of our roads. You know, every single building that I go to, everybody's complaining about what's it called? Mold. And you know, the equipment and the furniture. So I just want to say to you that I'm not making any excuses. My government is fully committed to you in improving your standard, and we know that improving your standard, as I said, is improving the ability for you to be able to deliver an incredible service for the people of St. Lucia. You know, I think it was last Christmas that my father fell sick, and we called in the ambulance to come and get him, and the blood pressure thing that he had couldn't even fit around his arm. So I know how you guys must feel in going out every single day on the line and not having the necessary equipment to do what the right thing is. And I know how that must affect you. So I'm just asking you to continue to be strong. We're going to do everything we can as fast as we can to be able to improve the overall level of services. But my goal, as I've said publicly, I can't fix everything in 1 year. I certainly can't fix everything in 100 days. It's going to take me 3 years to fix the finances of the country, start fixing up the infrastructure, start growing the economy in order to be able to generate the resources to pay for these things. And while we've been getting the support from this group here, I have to say to you that generally speaking, the world is very preoccupied with their own problems right now. You know, I've been on the road for literally 3 months, trying to create the fiscal space for us to be able to borrow money to do some of the things that we're talking about. But everybody has their own problems. And people in a lot of those countries have become very unsympathetic. So in fact, when their governments are giving resources to other countries, the public will say, why don't you fix the problems at home? And that's why what you've given us today is so much appreciated. Thank you.
And I really think it strikes to the core of the need that exists in St. Lucia. And I know that we can't solve all the problems, but we're very moved by the work that we see from the firefighters here each and every day and the dedication. And like the Prime Minister, we can't promise to solve all your problems, but if we can solve a few of them and if we can work together to do that in the spirit of fellowship, we're very happy to do that. So I just want to recognize him and thank him for his very strong words and his eloquence in trying to get some help for you folks, and that's what we're here today. Every time, I think this is the third time I've seen the Prime Minister, and every time I see him, I give him a T-shirt. Only because we have really nothing else to give other than our appreciation and our thanks, but it's a small token. He must be thinking we're running out of different styles now, and perhaps none of them even fit. I don't know, but we have 2 shirts today. We have one for Mrs. Francis and one for the Prime Minister, and I suspect if he's not wearing his daughter may wear we met his daughter in Toronto. And he'll be happy to know this is a new style that we're switching to. So I'd just like to present the Prime Minister with this as a small token of our gratitude to the people of St. Lucia for their welcoming and
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much for this.
Wilma Etienne. Troy Edmund.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a
Nelson Leon.
hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air.
Keza Hippolyte.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel that's what you want.
Salute.
Here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got and don't hold back. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine.
David Nelson.
No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. If you feel that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too.
Thank you very much. We know how much dedication, commitment, and the work is meant to ensure that this uncontrolled chaos was under control. So thank you very much for everything you did. Okay. All right.
I'm very happy that we concluded the Swiftwater Rescue Training today. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Canadian Without Borders group for assisting the fire department and the police force in running that training, conducting that training. The collaboration with the fire department will yield a lot of dividends. They have pledged 2 fire appliances in the first quarter of next year. We're looking forward to that, and they will return in April to conduct some more training for us in 2 critical areas, that is extrication and high angle rescue training. So the collaboration will save us millions of dollars. These new appliances are worth in excess of $1 million. So we want to thank them. We want to extend also heartfelt thanks to the Mrs. Cheryl Francis of the Consulate in Canada. I think she has helped us tremendously in bridging the gap between the Canadian Without Borders and the department. She acts like the middleman, and we are very thankful for her assistance. So all in all, I'm very thankful, and I'm very elated that our officers now are fully trained to assist our citizens in the event there is an issue during flooding, during high seas, and so on.